Hey, Smarty fans, your pal Trusty has a gift for you. A 7-day free trial of Who Smarted Plus. That's right. If you sign up for Who Smarted Plus, you'll get 1 week of free access to all our subscriber episodes and bonus Smarty Cues, all ad-free. Parents, educators, and Smarty Pants have been letting us know how much they love their Who Smarted Plus subscriptions. Now's your chance to see what all the excitement is about. Again, this offer is 100% free. You can cancel anytime within the trial week. But I have a feeling you're going to want to stick around for all the exciting adventures and extra smarting. Sign up now right in Apple Podcasts or on whosmarted.com. Just click Join Who Smarted Plus. Thanks for smarting with us and supporting Who Smarted. Psst. Hey, Smarty Pants. You're about to hear something pretty wild and fiery. I'm talking about wildfires. You've probably seen or heard about them in the news, and depending on where you live, they may affect you or people you know. But the truth is, they affect us all. But we'll get to that later. First, listen up as we play a scene involving a wildfire. See if you can figure out what our campers do wrong to cause this fire, and what could have been done to prevent it. Ready? Here we go.
I love hiking. I love camping. I love being in nature.
Me too. You hungry? I made sandwiches.
I am hungry, but I think I'll have a hot dog instead.
You eat cold hot dogs?
No, silly. I'll make a fire and cook 'em up.
You sure that's a good idea?
You got something against hot dogs?
Not hot dogs. The fire. There's a lot of dry leaves and branches around.
Great. I'll use them as kindling.
What if they catch fire?
Don't worry. I'll put rocks around the campfire. Plus, I have a bucket of water. Relax. How good does that fire feel?
It's nice.
Want another hot dog?
I'm stuffed. Think I'll call it a night. We should put out the fire.
Not yet. I might have another hot dog.
Okay, just make sure you put out the fire before you fall asleep.
Thanks. I've been camping before.
What's that smell? Rick? Oh my God, there's fire everywhere. Rick? Rick?
What? Uh-oh.
What happened?
I don't know. I fell asleep. The wind must have blown the kindling.
Where's the bucket of water?
It's here somewhere. I can't see. There's too much smoke. Oops. Found it.
What are we gonna do?
We gotta get out of here.
But what about the fire?
There's nothing we can do. Once we're out of the woods, I'll call the fire department.
Cut. Okay. The truth is, we're not in the woods. We just played sound effects of rustling leaves, camping, and of course, fire. But while this fire was fake, there are plenty of real wildfires raging out of control throughout the United States and around the world. But what are wildfires?
I don't know.
What causes them? How do we put them out? And most importantly, what can we do to prevent them? It's time for another whiff of science on
Who smarted? Who's smarted? Who's smart? Is it you? Is it me? Is it science or history? Listen up, everyone. We make smarting lots of fun on Who's Smarted.
Chances are, you've heard a lot about wildfires recently. For the past 10 years, there's been over 40,000 wildfires every year in the United States alone. But what exactly is a wildfire? Often called a forest fire, wildfires refer to any uncontrolled fire occurring in nature. Uncontrolled sounds pretty dangerous connected to the word fire. Am I right? Yeah, it's pretty serious. But the more you learn about them, the more in control you can feel. Phew. For starters, what do you think is the number one cause of wildfires? Is it A, bears, B, lightning, C, volcanoes, or D, humans.
Want another hot dog?
Got your answer? Sure, bears have been known to cause trouble in the forest, but they don't set fires. Lightning strikes can absolutely cause a forest fire, but by far, the biggest cause of wildfires, around 85 to 90% of them, is humans.
You sure that's a good idea?
With that in mind, let's go back to our opening scene and count the mistakes Rick and Jamie, but mostly Rick, made that caused this wildfire. Okay, we're back in the woods. So what was Rick's first mistake? Do you remember? If not, here's a hint.
I am hungry, but I think I'll have a hot dog instead.
You eat cold hot dogs?
No, silly. I'll make a fire and cook 'em up.
That's right. The number one cause of wildfires is campfires.
How good does that fire feel?
So what makes campfires so dangerous? Do you remember what Jamie tried to warn Rick about? Here's a hint.
There's a lot of dry leaves and branches around.
Great. I'll use them as kindling.
Did you say dry leaves and branches? Good job. Rick was right when he said he could use them as kindling because few things burn as quickly and easily as dry leaves and branches. A lack of rainfall, known as a drought, have left the forests in the Pacific Northwest very hot and dry, creating the perfect conditions for wildfires. But listen,
What if they catch fire?
Don't worry. I'll put rocks around the campfire.
it sounds like Rick was prepared. He even had a bucket of water handy. What could go wrong? No, seriously, what went wrong with Rick's plan? Do you remember?
What happened?
I don't know. I fell asleep. The wind must have blown the kindling.
That's right. Rick fell asleep, leaving the campfire unattended, which is a huge camping no-no. Campfires cannot be left unattended, not for 10 minutes, not for 10 seconds.
What happened?
I don't know. I fell asleep.
No matter what fun camping things you and your group have planned, someone has to keep an eye on the campfire at all times, or make sure it is absolutely, completely extinguished. It doesn't take much for controlled flames to become uncontrolled. But it isn't just campfires. Can you think of any other things people do to accidentally start wildfires? What was that? Did you say fireworks? That's right. Fireworks are fun to watch on the 4th of July, but lighting fireworks should never be done anywhere near a wooded area. Even something as harmless as a sparkler can set thousands of acres of forest ablaze and endanger people, animals, and property. That leaves one more major human-made fire hazard, and it's something kids definitely shouldn't be doing, whether they're in the woods or not. Any guesses what it is? Smoking. And it's something that adults shouldn't be doing either.
Man, I really gotta quit.
Far too often, smokers discard cigarettes that haven't been fully put out. Can you guess what happens when a lit cigarette makes contact with dry leaves? That's right. Campfires, fireworks, and cigarettes are the main culprits for human-caused fires. And lightning is the number one cause of natural fires. But do you think it's possible for a forest fire to start completely by itself? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And you'll find out how right after this quick break. Now back to Who Smarted. So what do you think, Smarty Pants? How could a wildfire start all by itself? Here's some hints. It starts with the letter C, and it has to do with the environment. Did you get it? If so, shout it out.
Ooh.
And if not, here's another hint. You usually hear this word followed by the word change, as in blank change. Did you say?
Climate.
That's right. The climate, or climate change, is responsible for wildfires starting on their own.
But how?
Think back. What was it about the leaves and branches that made them so easy to catch fire? Did you say?
Dry.
That's right. Forests are so vast and so filled with dry, flammable materials, it is super easy for fires to spread. Now, do you remember what causes everything in the forest to be so dry? We said it earlier, and it begins with the letter D, and it rhymes with the word shout. So if you know it, shout it out. Did you say?
Drought.
Nice. Drought conditions.
I'm really parched.
long stretches without adequate rainfall are just one way the climate factors into an increase in wildfires. But what are some others? I'm going to list several things, and it's your job to shout yes or no if you think they contribute towards wildfires or not. Ready? Go. Less rain. Less bears. Dry air. Thunder. Hot air. More deer. More dead trees. Nice job. It's important to remember, one smoldering campfire, lit cigarette, or lightning strike is all it takes to set an entire forest ablaze. But that's not the craziest part.
Huh?
When the air is hot enough and the leaves and branches are dry enough, heaps of hot, dry matter can actually ignite by itself. It's true. It's called spontaneous combustion. Add a little dry wind in and...
What happened?
I don't know. I fell asleep. The wind must have blown the kindling.
Changes in climate can be devastating, especially in areas that are typically hot and dry to begin with, like California, where fires have been a huge problem lately.
Quick! Run before we're trapped!
And once a wildfire starts, it's extremely difficult to put out. Wildfires might not get noticed right away, and they spread quickly. Unlike a house or building where the fire trucks can just pull up, attach hoses to hydrants, and start spraying, wildfires are usually difficult to reach until the fire has spread to roads or neighborhoods. Often, the only way to fight wildfires is by dumping fire retardant or water scooped out of nearby rivers, lakes, and ponds onto the fire from special planes or helicopters. In some cases, firefighters called smoke jumpers parachute into burning forests to fight the fire from within. Just think of how brave you'd have to be to do that.
So, what are some ways we can prevent wildfires from starting, besides Rick not falling asleep before putting the campfire out?
Great question. So what do you think, Smarty Pants? Is it A, reversing climate change? B, forest management?
I think we're gonna have to get rid of some of these trees.
C, not building near forests? Or D, setting the forest on fire? If you said A, reversing climate change, you're right. By supporting sources of energy that don't make our planet hotter and drier, we can reduce conditions for wildfires. However, that's more of a long-term solution. In the short term, we need B, forest management. Forest management is a process in which trees are selectively removed and leaves and branches are raked up to reduce the risk and spread of wildfires.
Now that's a healthy forest.
A good way to prevent damage to homes is for urban planners to slow down development in areas that are prone to fire. So C, not building near forests, is also a good answer. But what about D, setting the forest on fire? That couldn't possibly be a way to prevent wildfires, right? Well, actually, it is.
How?
Like we said, a wildfire is an uncontrolled fire. But to prevent them, firefighters set controlled fires. A controlled fire, or controlled burn, helps rid the forest of dead leaves, tree limbs, and overgrowth, which prevents destructive wildfires in the future. Controlled burns also reduce insect populations, destroy invasive plants, and can even help improve the soil to grow new plants. Talk about fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, well, no more campfires for me, except in designated areas.
And from now on, I'm sticking to sandwiches. Like this spicy Italian hero.
Whoa! Are those hot peppers? My mouth is on fire! Help!
For more information about wildfire prevention, go to www.smokeybear.com. That's www.smokeybear.com. And remember, only you can prevent wildfires. This episode, Wildfires, was written by Jenna Hoban and voiced by Jenna Hoban, Sheffield Chastain, and Jerry Colbert. Technical direction, sound design, and additional voices by Josh Hahn. Our associate producer is Max Kamaski. Who Smarted is recorded and mixed at the Relic Room Studios. The theme song is by Brian Suarez, with lyrics written and performed by Adam Tex Davis. Who Smarted was created and produced by Adam Tex Davis and Jerry Colbert. This is an Atomic Entertainment production.